From the Kia Hyundai channel, and today we're going to do a comparison of the 2022 Santa Cruz. This is the ultimate trim line, or the limited in the States, versus the 2022 Hyundai Tucson, also the ultimate, which would be the limited in the States. So this one is interesting to me because these cars technically share a platform. They very much share an interior, but there's a different market for these. And we've done a video in the past comparing the Santa Cruz to a pickup truck, but I think a lot of people are going to consider going from a crossover to a Santa Cruz as well. And these are the closest related vehicles you can get when you go crossover to truck. So that's what we're going to do. I just want to say a couple quick clarifications. This is my personal vehicle. We've got some winter tires on that, winter tires and wheels. We'll talk about that a little bit further. If you are joining us for the very first time and you just want to get right to that content, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark of this video. In the meantime, this is a live video. We're going to let our live audience jump in for a couple minutes here. We're going to talk about some news and some notes, and then we'll jump into the live video. If you want to join us live, I'm going to show you how to do that right now, so you can stay with us for a second here. Right now, if you want to join us live, you go to our YouTube channel on 2 o'clock Eastern time. And if you, this is what the page looks like. We've got a video down here, which could change, but there's just generally a video down there. If you refresh the page exactly at 2 o'clock, which is what we're doing right now, you will see that the live video takes over that homepage area, and you can click into that. When you click into that, you're gonna have to watch a quick little ad, and as you're watching the ad, and I'm looking how to skip it here, I just wanna say really quickly, there are 3 dealerships that support this YouTube channel. They are Brantford Kia, where we film in our Brantford Kia studio, Brantford Hyundai, where we get most of our vehicles, and Owen Sound Hyundai, who geographically is just further away from me, but might be perfect for you. If you are in Ontario looking to buy a vehicle, connect with me. There'll be a link in the description after this video is posted, and I'll connect you up with our team, and they will take care of you. All right, so 1 minute to go. We just came back from the LA Auto Show last week, so if you're interested in the Tucson in this video, I should mention that the Kia Sportage is also coming out, same platform as these vehicles here, and that may be of interest to you as well. We saw the regular and the hybrid. We've got videos up on our YouTube channel for that, so you can compare the hybrid and the other ones to that. Those are introductory videos. We'll do in-depth videos as those vehicles come in. And overall, LA Auto Show was pretty cool. EV6, Ioniq 5 were also there, and of course some concept cars, that kind of thing. What else is going on in here? We've got some pretty good content coming up for you in the next couple weeks because some of these cars that we've been talking about for a while are starting to filter in here, so we'll try to get some of those. Got more inventory stacking up compared to what used to be going on in October, and I think that's about it. Yeah, somebody let me know in the comments if the comments are working. I don't know if maybe I missed a comment or two yet, but if somebody wants to drop a hello, yeah, if somebody can drop a hello in the comments, that'd be great. We'll make sure it's all working. And if you're a regular with us, do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you're not a regular with us, hopefully we can earn your like over the next little while. So still not seeing any comments. We'll try. All right, we're 3 minutes in. We're going to get going on this video. We're hoping some of our regulars drop a comment in the live chat just so we can make sure that's working because I don't see it yet. The reason I want to take a look at these two vehicles is technically they're built on the same platform. Now, a lot of people think the platform is an identical platform. Platforms are kind of the general basis on which you make a vehicle nowadays, and they're designed to be adapted. So there we go. We've got somebody in the comment section. But the platforms are designed to sort of be adapted, and both of these vehicles were planned out when they made this platform. So one of the reasons that the concept car from 2016 didn't come out of the Santa Cruz is simply because they didn't have a platform that could handle it. So when you think of a Santa Cruz and you say, okay, it's basically a Tucson with a bed, it's very different, and that's what we're going to show you in this video. But if you're considering maybe the Santa Cruz or the Tucson, I think this video will help you. And I'll be full disclosure right here. This is my personal Santa Cruz. Obviously, I'm a fan. I do think there are a number of good reasons to buy this instead of that. And we're going to go through this in pretty good detail right here. So here we go. Somebody says, let's go, I'm here. All right, here's what we're doing. All right, first thing I want to do is just show you the keys just so I can put them away in my pocket. I'm actually going to leave them where they are because one's wrapped in plastic, so ignore that. My personal key right here, lock, unlock. You can pop the tailgate from the key, and you got a nice little truck logo. You can hit the panic button, and you can remote start the vehicle. On the Tucson, lock, unlock, you can pop the tailgate. It's a power operating tailgate. You can hit the horn, and you can smart park this. You can move it forward or backwards using just the key fob and remote start. We'll probably do that demonstration closer to the end of this video. I don't want to do it early, and I'll explain that all why later. So both these keys are going in my pocket, one on the one side, one on the other side. The other big difference between these two vehicles is the powertrain. You cannot get the Santa Cruz powertrain in the Tucson, so that's a big thing to point out. 2.5 liter turbo is the only one we have available in Canada. So when I say you can't get it, I know some of you Americans are going to say, hey, you can get the 2.5 non-turbo. Yes, you can, but of course in Canada you can't. So 2.5 liter turbo, this is the ultimate version, the top of the line limited model in the States. This one is the ultimate top of the line limited version in the United States. It is a 1.6 liter hybrid. So 1.6 liter turbo with a hybrid. So the power numbers on these two is 281 horsepower over there. And on this one here, 227 horsepower, which is, again, up from the base model. Over there, you have 311 foot-pounds of torque. Over here, you have 258 foot-pounds of torque. Now, that's still pretty peppy. And again, the hybrid is an uprated power from the base model. You do downrate the towing when you get to the hybrid. So the base Tucson can tow 3,500 pounds according to specs, which is quite a bit. Same thing as what would be the base engine in the States of this. So 3,500 pound base, but this particular model tows 2,000 pounds. And the Santa Cruz tows 5,000 pounds. Other differences, let's go quickly over some really quick differences in size. Well, while we're talking powertrain, 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the highway. Lower is better in Canada. You can do the mile per gallon conversion in the States, but 6.3 in the city, 12.1 in the city. So almost half the fuel use in the city using this hybrid versus the Santa Cruz. 6.6 on the highway, 8.6 on the highway, much closer to similar on the highway. But there you go. Mileage, there is a difference there as well. We'll also talk really quickly in length. Just a hair under 16 feet, 4 inches, just a hair over 15 feet, 2 inches. So 14 inches or so difference there. The width is interesting, 1.5 inches wider on the Santa Cruz, just about 1.5 inches wider, and about 1 centimeter shorter in height when we talk floor to ceiling. So about 1 centimeter shorter here versus there. So almost the exact same height. So there we go. Basic specs out of the way. Let's jump in. And again, really quickly, if you want to see a video of just the Tucson, half an hour we go through the Tucson, this exact model, I'll put a link to the description as soon as this video is done being posted. If you want to see a comparison of the Santa Cruz to the Chevrolet Colorado, we'll put a link in the comparison in the video in the description of that as well. We've already done that video. So this one is really about going through these. Now, again, I mentioned there's a shared interior. We're going to talk interior. We're going to talk rear seat space in both. We're going to do a cargo space demonstration because a lot of people want to know, okay, open bed. This one, of course, is sealed. That one, of course, is weather resistant, but there's some weatherproofness to it, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the differences in the front. There are no body parts that are shared on this. So a lot of people think this is the same front end. It's not. Lots to go through here, so let's try to dig into it really quickly as we dig in. So let's start with the interior. All right. Got the key in my hand. Couple things I really like over here. Memory seats are standard on the Tucson. You cannot get those on the Santa Cruz, which is interesting. What you will see in both vehicles, though, is a nearly identical, let me just turn it to the on position, but not starting. We are inside. Nearly identical interior section here. So over here, because you don't have, let me just turn the climate system off for a second. Because you don't have the tachometer up here, you can put a tachometer up here, but essentially the same dash through here, essentially the exact same dash through here. So nice, clean, easy to touch, easy to clean section here. You've got a nice big backup camera, which I can't show you properly, so we'll just do this. The backup camera, there we go, has the lines there. 360 camera, same thing on both these vehicles. Now, interestingly, my daughter pointed this out. They should put the sunroof on the picture of the car to make it look more real. And I agree with her. I think they should also maybe change the color of the vehicle, would be cool. But of course, this one does have a panoramic sunroof, which we'll show you in a second here. But same camera system over there. You have the same sort of safety type information over here. So keeping assist, smart cruise control. You have paddle shifters on both these vehicles. Now, the interesting thing with the paddle shifter right here is this is a 6-speed transmission. The Santa Cruz will have an 8-speed transmission. So overall driver feeling here, you are essentially identical in the driver's seat. I do think the Santa Cruz has a little bit more padded headrest, but the seats here, if we take a look at them, they're basically identical in both vehicles and very similar feeling. Now, one thing I will pop up in here is power sunroof. This is a panoramic sunroof, and boy, does that make a difference as far as overall light, overall kind of view from the cabin. You can't get that in a Santa Cruz. You can get a sunroof, so that's something to consider there. If you really want that panoramic roof, this is the only way to get it. And then coming down here, they do some things interesting. We're going to show you the Santa Cruz in a second. We've got some ambient lighting, but there are some differences here. This one has the, quote, dreaded push-button gear shift, and I'm going to make the argument that I would have thought this would be a worse choice for people, but I'm going to say that the Santa Cruz should have gone with this as well, and you're going to see why in a second, because your wireless phone charging can go right here. I can sit my phone, I'm filming with my phone right now, but my phone could sit right here and wirelessly charge, which means you could put an other phone down here. And when I have a water bottle here, I can still reach putting my phone in here. This is a bit better design than the Santa Cruz, which we'll show you in a second. Another benefit down here, this is open. You can see the ambient lighting in there. There's a little bit of a pocket in there. Again, just a little bit more storage for a road trip. Maybe a cell phone, maybe a little bit of snacks or something like that in there. You've got some room, a wallet, like again, just anything you want to put in there. Again, most people don't use this, but on a road trip, having a little extra space would be nice. The Santa Cruz is filled in there and no ambient lighting in there. Ambient lighting in here, ambient lighting down there. You'll see it in both cars. And then on the Santa Cruz, you're going to see some buttons in this area for heated seats, heated steering wheel. On this vehicle, they have them up here. So again, heated seats, ventilated seats, rump roasters, I like to call them, heated seats, steering wheel, and then you've got your hill descent control. All of these controls are the same, but they're in a different location. Drive and terrain modes you have here. And again, push button gear shift, electronic parking brake, auto hold, that kind of thing. So cup or the armrest here is basically the same. I think it's the same inside as well. But for armrest forward, there are some changes, and I'm going to argue that I know we all like the manual sort of style gear shift. These push button gear shifts do give you more space, and I'm going to show you the practical benefit of that right now as we jump out. Another thing I mentioned that already, that powered seat is good. Oh, this seat moves back when I get out, so let me just put that forward. That's part of the memory seat. I want to leave this seat where I would have it when I'm driving so that we keep it where I need it. All right, jumping over to the Santa Cruz. Again, ignore the wheels and tires. This is the top line trim. I've got winter rims on there. Jumping in here, you can see no power or no memory seating there. As we jump in here though, same exact dash. I'll turn it on, turn the climate off. So this one of course has a tachometer. You can change the look of the dash. So again, same basic dash in here, same basic controls down here, same idea. Overall, identical look down here as well. Oh, hold on. We're going to have to go kick off my Bluetooth. All right. We're back. Just want to make sure I know that it goes on my Bluetooth. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me clearly again? I know it probably jumped on my Bluetooth for a second there. So let me know if you guys can hear me and we'll keep going here. All right, so same basic dash in here, same thing exactly. Okay, we can hear me perfect. Now, here's the difference with this. You do have a deeper section in here. So you've got maybe drive and terrain modes down here, which you can see there. We do have drive and terrain modes here in Canada versus the States, which is different. Some of those buttons down there. I like this sort of arrangement. You guys really like this gear shift. Now, if I have my cell phone and I have a water bottle here, which I tend to have that when I'm on vacation, there's no real easy way to put my phone in there where it would be easier with the push button start. However, and also this is a detail piece in here, but it's not a pocket in there. And so again, this seems to be a little deeper in here. You have a wireless phone pad charging right there, but you do not have a place for, let's just put the gear shift out of the way, a second phone here, other than sitting on top of each other. So a little bit less space, even though it's a little different than before. Throw it in reverse, you can see the exact same backup camera. Again, my daughter pointed out, no sunroof on this car. They feel like they should have that, but you can see sort of that 360 view on both these cars. Really nice when you go into drive, of course, you get the same view forward. If I'm looking at the side view of the car while I'm in drive, these are the front wheels we're looking at. If I go to the reverse and I look at the side view of the car, those are the rear wheels we're looking at. So just really cool camera system in both these vehicles. Excellent, excellent system. So coming back down here, just a difference in the dash here. Again, my buttons are up here, ventilated, heated, steering wheel, ventilated, heated, and then of course some of the extra buttons that were in other spots are now down here. So I like the layout of this, like it's well done, but I do think the push button gear shift has something to add because you tend to get a little bit more space for the second phone, and it's a little easier with the car in park. When I get in with my water bottle, the car's in park, and you just can't put your phone in the same spot as you could there. So just, little things that don't make a difference. The rest, again, is the same thing. Water bottles there, and if we look at the seats, again, we'll show you the seats here. Same exact seats. It feels to me like the headrest is just a little bit more plush. I don't know if that's just me thinking things, but same basic seats there exactly. And of course, you can see looking up, we have a sunroof, but not a panoramic sunroof. Now, from the driver's seat, doesn't really matter because, again, the light that I see is right above my head. However, from the rear seat, you're certainly going to lose something. And, of course, it's a manual cover here instead of the powered cover here as well. So there's the basics on the interior. We can go through both these vehicles we've gone through in bigger detail in the past. Let's jump out for a second and talk about other things here. So, real big thing, rear seat space. Now, there is a slightly smaller door. We'll back up over here, slightly smaller rear door here, just an inch or two smaller, a couple inches maybe, than you have on the Tucson. But you can see the lines are very similar. The door itself has sort of a, it's hard to see on camera here, but there we go, kind of the line like that. But this window goes level there, which I think is an advantage for visibility, maybe not so for styling. This one kind of comes up there. So a little bit of a tighter area. The Tucson itself has a great back seat for the class, and we'll start there. The Santa Cruz competes fine with the class, whether it's a compact pickup truck or the previous mid-size or small size crossover. The Santa Cruz is a fine rear seat, but there's a huge advantage in the rear seat right here. So let's jump in there and we'll take a look. Jumping in the back seat here, you can kind of see it right away. I left that seat where I need it. Is the back seat window manual power? Oh, the rear window in the Santa Cruz is manual. We'll show you that in a second. So coming in, sitting up here, headroom's great. I'm underneath the sunroof. Even if I'm underneath there, I've got tons of room, and that's really where you have to kind of measure to be exact because the panel does come through there as well. So headroom's great. My legs are flush on the seat. That's great. I have immense knee room for a small crossover, like a lot of knee room, and the footroom's pretty good as well. The other thing you do have here in the Tucson is the armrest with a cup holder. You can't get that in the Santa Cruz. So there's your kind of view there. Let's jump into the Santa Cruz. And I know it seems like I'm hard on the Santa Cruz, and I am. There are some things that they could have done differently, could have done maybe even better. But I did buy one. So we're getting to the point where I think the Santa Cruz is better, and we'll talk about that. It just depends on what you need in a vehicle. Jumping in the back seat here, you can right away see space is smaller. Now, it is not too small. This was my concern getting when I got it. Jumping in here, as I jump in, you can see headroom still very good. So for a 6-footer, it's got that kind of bump up where I'm sitting, very comfortable. My back seat is perfectly comfortable, probably similar to that. The difference is the other one can recline, this one cannot. Knee space, I'm a 6-footer sitting behind a 6-footer, and you can see here, I have enough space. Like I can be comfortable here. I can certainly splay my legs out and be comfortable. My legs are also on the seat, just like the other one, but again, no armrest. And what that means is my cup holders are now moved to the door. So cup holders in the door instead. Pockets back here in both of them, on the back of the seats, back of both seats. You also have vents right there and 2 USB ports. So again, if you are considering crossover or Santa Cruz, the one thing you have to keep in mind is the Santa Cruz has less rear space, but I can be very honest, as a 6-footer, I can ride here all day. I'm quite comfortable. It's competitive with the small or the compact pickup truck and the mid-size pickup truck class. And to be fair, legroom and knee room is actually comparable to the full-size pickup truck class as long as you don't get the full crew cab. If you get like a double cab Chevy, I actually have less knee room or very similar knee room in the double cab Chevy as well. So somebody asked about this window. It is a manual window. So that just like a Chevy Colorado, unlike the Toyota Tacoma or something like that. So you can open that, and that's kind of nice to open with the sunroof. You can get a lot of air through there. So rear seat space, definitely the Tucson. There's a couple other advantages to the Tucson here, and we'll get to them in a second. That smart park system that we only had on the key fob where it can move the car forward or back using just the key fob, it does require parking sensors front and rear. So you have these little circles out front, which means as you're parking, you have those 360 cameras on both these cars, but this one will beep progressively quicker until it gets to a solid beep as you approach something, both in the front and behind. So the parking, remote parking or the smart park does rely on those sensors, so you have that advantage with the Tucson as well. And if you are a Tucson fan, you're probably pretty happy right now. You've got better mileage, you've got better rear seat space, you've got some extra things like powered seats, you've got the push-button gear shift, which you may think is a downfall compared to the regular, but you get used to it quickly and it gives you a little bit more pocket space out front. You also have the better sunroof. So there's a lot to like about the Tucson. The other thing to like about it is pricing. You get all of that for, let me just pull it up here. Keep in mind, we got to go right to the right one. So we are comparing apples to apples with inside to inside, ultimate to ultimate, $41,599. Again, very loaded vehicle, top of the line. You can get them much less expensive. The Santa Cruz is $44,799. So Santa Cruz costs more. So let's talk about why one would cost more than the other, but we're going to do that in a second. Oh, 41, yeah, you guys are freaking out. We're Canadian, right? So our Santa Cruz Ultimate is less expensive than your Santa Cruz Limited when you do the currency conversion. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Canada, things are priced a little bit differently. In Canada, the Maverick, when you equip it the same way, is pretty much right on par with the top of the line Santa Cruz as well. So little things different in there. All right, let's take your questions right now. We've got 50 people on right now. Let's just set a low goal of going for, well, you know what? Let's go for 60 likes. So let's see if we can get to 60 likes. If you all hit the like button in 3, 2, 1 right now, then a whole bunch of people will jump on and join us, which is kind of fun to watch. If I haven't earned your like, then we'll keep trying to earn it. All right, so we're gonna take your questions right now. We're gonna take both these cars, talk about them. The next step we're gonna do is cargo comparison and outside lighting, some outside differences. We're gonna talk a lot about different things. The Santa Cruz can hold 485 pounds more than this car can right here. So we're gonna talk about all that in just a second. First, we'll take your questions as we just, let me get to the right spot in the, on the page over here. We'll see if we've got anything. All right. You can get a Telluride for $30,000. No, you can't. Not in Canada. Telluride here with the similar equipment to this would be like $55,000. So, and that's the thing. Like I bought my Santa Cruz because it's like 10 grand more to get some of the inside Telluride stuff that I'm getting in the Santa Cruz. So again, Canadian price is a little bit different. There's definitely some value there. All right. How do you reset the TPMS message on the dash? If my set of wheels and tires do not come with TPMS, you don't. Your set of wheels and tires, you're gonna have to put a TPMS sensor in there, and that will eliminate that message. Basically, if it doesn't see a tire pressure monitoring system, it's gonna give you a warning light. So I do encourage you to get those tire pressure monitoring. The one car with the cutoff back looks like a golf cart, so you're not a fan of the Santa Cruz. All right, you know what? It's not for everybody. Let's keep going on. Okay, I saw my first Santa Cruz in khaki brown color on the road this Sunday. The daytime lights are just slightly different. The Santa Cruz has less lights than the Tucson. Yes, that's right. We'll show you the lighting in just a second here. Just bought a Santa Cruz yesterday from the States. Your videos helped to inform my decision. Thanks for doing these. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Okay, have a Seltos and dying for a Telluride. Nice. Okay, so I don't think there's a ton of questions in there. I prefer the Kia Sportage infotainment head unit because it's physical knobs and radio and temperature. Yep, some people are going to like the physical knobs. I'll be very, very honest. Would I prefer the volume knob? Maybe. It really hasn't been an issue. I think once you own a car, you just learn how to use it and it becomes a non-thing. Car reviewers won't let it go, and I'll tell you why car reviewers don't let it go. They don't like learning new stuff. I used to be a car reviewer. Every week you have a new vehicle and you want to have everything the same. So I think once you own the vehicle, you just get used to it. It has a steering wheel control. You can mute things there, so there we go. Have I tried towing with a Santa Cruz yet? No, but follow this channel for that because I absolutely plan to do that. All right, let's dig into cargo space. So here's where we're starting. Somebody sent me a comment this morning. They said they want me to do the teddy bear test in the Tucson and the Santa Cruz because what they're doing is they like the Santa Cruz, but they feel like this makes more sense for them because they've got weather-tight storage area. And when we talk about weather-tight storage area, let's be honest with the Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz has a single rubber seal on this tonneau cover right here. So they call it weather resistant. I have not had an issue with rain intrusion whatsoever. If you go through a car wash, it's certainly possible to have through there. And obviously as things wear, get older, maybe there's some more water in there. If you get this, you have to expect that maybe some of your stuff could get a little bit damp, a little bit wet. However, it's gonna be pretty good. So you do have the weather-tight storage area underneath here. And what I really like compared to the Colorado that I used to own is I always had to stick my computers or my other stuff or random things that I needed inside storage, and I used to put them in with the kids in the back, and that kind of annoyed me because I don't trust my own children. Right now I've got just a snow brush in there. We're gonna get rid of that for now. But you do have a traditional trunk in there. And I should point out my snow brush is actually pretty massive. So this is a pretty good sized storage area. It's not super deep, a couple backpacks, anything like that. But if you want lockable storage, even with the tailgate down, this section can lock. And that's a super, super helpful area where you can put your valuables. They can be locked. They can be as weather tight as they would with a trunk because you have this nice extra ceiling here. And so that is pretty good. And it's just a big thing to have. So what we're gonna do is close that down, remember that it's there, and we're gonna do our teddy bear test. Now, those of you who don't know about the teddy bear test, every single time we do a trunk test for the past, probably a year or more, probably a year and a half, we use my teddy bear. And the reason we do that is because my teddy bear over here is large, and if I just filled your camera with an SUV with this, you wouldn't know if it's large or small or whatever. So when I throw a teddy bear in, you'll have a reference point of what's bigger, what's smaller, and that kind of thing. So big advantage here is always fully weatherproof. Big downfall is anything smelly, wet, dirty, whatever, is living with you in the cabin. So there's the teddy bear test. It's about a teddy bear and a half. He fits just underneath that cargo cover. I believe you can lower this down just a little bit. Yeah, you can lower it down right up onto that area there. And you know what? Let's just do that to get the maximum possible space in here. So we'll drop that down. Oops, I'm right-handed, not left-handed. Boy, am I struggling here. There we go. So we'll drop that down like that. And what happens is now you've got teddy bear whose belly is now well underneath the cargo cover here. So there we go. Teddy bear test in here, teddy bear and a half, teddy bear and 3/4 maybe. That's how teddy bear looks in the Tucson. Obviously you could stack teddy bears on top of each other and they would still be inside and dry and clean. Now, in Canada, every Santa Cruz that we sell has this cargo cover. So the strap is going to be slightly in my way, but we can unclick it from here. This strap just allows you to pull it back without having to be standing closer there. So let's just throw the teddy bear in there. Now, already I can show you teddy bear is harder because what I'm going to have to do is use this corner step, and I'll just actually show you doing that. Here we go. Put my foot in here and put my hand over in behind here. I'll show you what I'm doing. Whoops, come on, camera. There's a handle almost right there. It's like a rubber handle. So you can put your hand in there. So foot again in here, and that's why these side steps are so nice. Step and step. I'm on the tailgate. Let's put teddy bear in here. Now, when we talk about teddy bear and a half, teddy bear's got a little bit less belly space underneath the roll top cover, which we'll just try to show you here. But this is a 2.5 teddy bear trunk, easily, probably even more than that. So 1 teddy, 2 teddies, probably a 3 teddy bear trunk, 2.5 without any issues. And you can see he's still got pretty good height underneath the cargo cover. So the benefit here is that this is a massive trunk for a small crossover, right? And it is mostly weatherproof, certainly weather resistant. Let me just flip this back. And if you were looking to have him at least safe from cargo, safe from theft or whatever, you can spin that. That disables the handle here. You close this up and nobody can steal your teddy bear. So theft-proof wise, you're as good as you would be with a regular trunk. Weatherproof, if, again, I'm an outdoor person, a kayaker, a camper, a lot of stuff that I throw in here is very dirty, it's often smelly, it's, with my kids, it's often covered in sand. And when I get home, I can hose this whole thing out, be done. I don't have to smell it or do anything the whole trip. Even like a barbecue when I go camping, I can throw in here. I have a small little camping barbecue. So there's a huge benefit there. The other big difference here is I see somebody saying, okay, boomer, are you talking about me or are you talking about someone else? Because if you're going to be insulting people that I talk to, you can insult me. I can decide if I'm going to block you, but I hope you're not insulting anybody else. All right. Jumping over here, the other big benefit is you have self-leveling rear suspension. So a lot of people say, oh, I've driven the Tucson, so I know how the Santa Cruz rides. No, the Santa Cruz has a longer wheelbase. You have the suspension essentially from a Telluride, Palisade, the top-of-the-line ones that have the self-leveling rear suspension. So very different rear suspension on these vehicles. And again, self-leveling, so what happens is if you load the vehicle down, and you drive around the block, the vehicle can level itself out with the rear suspension. So very different riding vehicles. This one's very, very smooth and luxurious. Tucson's very good as well, but I'm gonna give the edge to ride quality to the Santa Cruz, whether it's the wheelbase, whether it's the suspension differences, larger brakes as well. I do have a hitch on here. Again, we can tow 5,000 pounds. And again, you can decide for yourself if that style of weatherproof cargo space is good for you or if it's not good for you. So for me, and then again, roof racks are a nice touch too because a lot of pickup trucks, you don't have these built-in side rails. You do have them on both of these vehicles, and there we go. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on in the comments, but I do see some people kind of throwing some insults. We don't do that here, so if I have to block somebody, I will, but just be cautious here, okay? All right, keep going through. So that's kind of the basic comparison of Tucson versus Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, 485 pounds more carrying capacity, 3,000 pounds more towing capacity, faster, sportier, a little bit more fun to drive. I would go Santa Cruz for sure. Mileage, definitely an advantage here. Some parking and technology things, a little bit of things are a little bit better there. Price point is very good here as well. So there we go. Some folks are getting Ascent, Palisade, Volkswagen Atlas, or Explorer because they can't get a Telluride. Yes. Also, some folks are not getting those vehicles because all of those vehicles are also tough to get. So we'll talk about supply chain in a second here. But it sounds like you guys are having some battles in there, and we'll keep going. Okay. Okay, I'm going to be the kindergarten teacher here. If you guys are battling in the comments, it's time to stop, or I'll kick you out. So we can end that. You guys are all throwing insults, and that's not cool. That doesn't happen in this place. All right, so keep going through here. 19-inch wheels here. I came with 20-inch wheels on my vehicle, so that's the standard top-line wheels here. I did put 18s on here. The 18s are the same as you would have on the other, the lower trim level Santa Cruzes. So if you want more sidewall, a little more off-road ability, you do gain that here. I didn't look up the ground clearance, but I'm sure the Santa Cruz is a little bit more. So what we're going to do now really quickly is look at the lighting differences because there are some differences there, and then we'll go back and take your questions here as well. And we were going for 60 likes. We're only 3 away, guys. So if you guys want to help us get there, that'd be cool. All right, we're going to turn full headlighting systems on here on both vehicles. Okay, so yeah, if we have to deal with somebody, I will. We can just ignore that person. What I want to do is film my show. Somebody's pointing out who's a problem, and I'll review the comments later, and if I have to block somebody, I can do that later. So we can just ignore that person now. All right, headlighting out front, you can see both of these vehicles, if we flip around here, have a really sharp cutoff, really bright white light. It doesn't always look white here, but we have some excellent lighting here. And this is basically the top level of lighting you can get, the Kia Hyundai Genesis world. They are the LED projector-ish style. I'm not even sure what they're called, but that is the top type of lighting. Now, these type of lights dim down when the headlights are on. So normally they're quite bright and white. They also can react funny with the camera. If you get the Tucson, again, all of this is smoked out grille, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th light to the side system there. I think that looks fine. I'm going to be blunt, and maybe this is just because I bought this vehicle. I think this looks more aggressive, and you'll see some flickering in here again. 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the side. So you have 1 less light in here, a little more space, and overall, I really like the look. That dark chrome continues through the grille down here, and you have this is sort of a dark chrome, and this is sort of a dark chrome. Actually, that's a lighter chrome, and this is a darker chrome as well. Over on the Tucson, you have those parking sensors and the body color across the front. To me, the Santa Cruz has the more aggressive front end, and that's, you know, neither here nor there. Over on Santa Cruz, black plastic through here on the Ultimate trim, which is what I have. This is the Ultimate trim here, and you have a nicer looking kind of metallic look through there. So if that matters to you. Overall in the back, let's just shut the tailgate here. Oops, helps if I slam it shut. You have, let's just show you both of these side by side. So this is an LED type look there. The brake lights themselves are actually, and signal lights are actually just incandescent bulbs. Here you've got a pretty cool look as well. They're actually kind of a similarity of running across with there and then running across with here. The lower trim levels don't have this lit piece right there. Your signal lights on this one are down lower right here, whereas that, everything's all in the same thing there. Do they both have backup cameras? Yeah, we showed earlier, not only do they both have backup cameras, they both have the 360-degree camera. So you have that bird's eye view, you have a camera out front, camera out back, camera out left, camera out right. So great things there. Could I turn on the signal light, please? Sure, we'll turn on the signal lights on both. So let's just do that. Signal lights out front here, and we'll come around, look at them both because there is some differences there as well. Signal light, left side only is what we're gonna do. So both mirrors have the exact same signal lights. They're basically, I think, nearly the exact same mirrors. Now what's cool is you can see this kind of like check marky size, like, you know, block in there. That is echoed on the Santa Cruz in the same idea there. It's echoed in the signal light. So signal light down there, just looks pretty cool. Some people say it's an arrow pointing the wrong way, but you know what? It works cool, and it looks really cool in person. It doesn't look cool on camera, but really sharp LED light. Over here, same idea, but it's kind of built into the lighting system there. So to me, Santa Cruz wins for just style points on the lighting out front. I just think it's a slight better version of the same basic design. Out back here, signal light sits down low. It is an amber signal light. Some people want to claim this is a safety issue. It's not. You'd have to be tailgating so close to not see this. And then coming over here, Santa Cruz, you can see big lights, but they are incandescent. Camera's not filming it perfectly. They fill a little bit clearer in person. But yeah, nice big lighting there. And that is the thing. It is definitely a bigger light there. All right, we're 34 minutes in. We're going to go double check your questions. We hit 65 likes. That's pretty cool. And how is the safety record? So that's a good question. Safety, I don't remember the Tucson. Haven't checked into myself. If you get the Santa Cruz with the LED headlights, top possible safety pick for every category in the IIHS. So that's a big thing to have right there. Overall, quick summary. The Tucson is a Tucson, right? It is a small crossover. This is based off a shared platform, but you have things like the Telluride and Palisade rear suspension. You have larger brakes, you have larger wheels, you have almost 480, these two exact cars, 485 pounds more carrying capacity over here. So there's a lot going on there for extra toughness. You do get a couple little techie type features in here. The hybrid is a huge advantage over here unless you're gonna tow because you have 5,000 pounds capacity versus 2,000 pounds capacity for the hybrid. So lots of fun either way. And right now we'll just take your questions. And if you have questions, we'll dig through. We'll try to sound for about 5 more minutes and address some of your questions in here. And it looks like we've had less problems with some people that were not being cool in here. So let me just go to the bottom. Are the seats in the Tucson the same as preferred trend? I think these are the ultimate. Both of these are the ultimate package. So that's the top level trim in Canada. And both have the same seats as far as I can tell. Santa Cruz 7-pin update yet? Haven't heard about a 7-pin update. I think it was $230 in Hamilton for me to get 7-pin wiring in there. So again, I'll probably just do that aftermarket. It's not a big deal to go aftermarket on these kinds of things. So in the States, it's different than Canada. We can talk about that in a separate video. That's why we're talking about 7-pin wiring here. I like the white one because I could put a lawnmower in the back. Yeah, and that's the thing. I like the Santa Cruz because what I do a lot of outdoorsy type stuff, kayaking, stuff like that. Stuff gets dirty and smelly, and I can throw it in the bed and put it out, and there we go. What is the highest horsepower for the Tucson I can get? So the Tucson, you can get a PHEV, plug-in hybrid vehicle. I believe it's 258 horsepower. No, that's the torque. 227 is the horsepower for the hybrid. There is a slightly higher horsepower on the plug-in hybrid. Somebody says, how tall are you? I am 6 feet tall. I'm a big guy. Just wonder how it is for tall guys. So I'm 6 feet tall. If you're really, really tall, you're going to have to sort of try this car out yourself because a lot taller than me, you would not be able to sit me behind. But I think 6'1" to 6'1" is fine. 6'2" with 6'2" behind would be certainly tight. 6 feet and 6 feet, not a problem. Here, you can be really tall. The rear seat is just massive in this one. Real class-leading space. Class-leading trunk space here and class-leading rear seat space. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I'm about 6 feet tall, so as you're doing comparisons, that's probably a good comparison there. Real quick overview of the ride mode differences. Sure, let's do that really quickly. In Canada, I'm just going to use the Santa Cruz because I have it here. Doesn't matter which one to use, I guess. So drive and terrain modes here. Let's just show you what we've got. Drive modes. Okay, so drive modes. I have, let's go to drive modes. Okay, normal, sport, and smart. And then I can switch to terrain modes. In the States, you guys do have snow mode as part of your drive modes, but you don't have mud and sand. So when you go to the mud, sand, that's kind of like your lock-up, sort of the button that sort of technically locks the axle. It can sort of do those. But those two drive modes, just between four-wheel drive system, traction control, stability control, all those systems, they all adapt, including the throttle, even steering feel can adapt for your drive and terrain modes there. So it's the same thing in both, normal, sport, and smart. Switch to terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. And really quickly, I want to say that if you get the... I just want to put my car back on the right mode here. There we go. If you get the Canadian versions, you have those terrain modes. If you have American versions, you don't. If you're driving and the snow hits, you do not have to find snow mode immediately. It's already four-wheel drive. Both of these vehicles receive all power to all four wheels, and then it'll move it back to the front wheel. So you'll have power to all four wheels. It'll move it to that as you maintain traction. It's not something on either of these cars where you have to slip in the front wheel to put grip on the rear. So there we go. Somebody says, your wife wants a Tucson. Your wife's a smart lady. Tucson's a really cool car. Santa Cruz, since I don't go off-road, Sorry, I missed the first part of that. I could get the Seltos for my lawn business. There we go. A lot of questions coming in here. Let me just jump back and I'll try to make sense of them all here. Does the Tucson have the same wheel design and the blind spot appear on the dashboard? Yes. So when you signal in either one of these cars, when you're driving, the dash changes and shows you the blind spot behind you. So both these have cameras in the mirrors that can look down when you're backing up or going forward. And when you're signaling, they will show you your blind spot. Both of these show that camera system in the dash that shows that. So same technology in there. All right, there we go. Where are we going here? Santa Cruz, since I don't go off-road. Yeah, Santa Cruz is great for either one of these are fine if you don't go off-road. They're very, very good handling vehicles, especially I think the Santa Cruz is a little bit better handling to me, but I'm not sure. Can't wait for the PHEV Santa Cruz. So there is no announcement of a PHEV Santa Cruz, and the reason I didn't wait for that is I'm concerned that a hybrid or plug-in hybrid may take away some towing and carrying capacity because you're going to add some batteries in there, and that will take away some of that. For me, I was good with this because I have an electric car at home, so we can do all of our driving electric car except for when I need this, and that was what worked for me. But PHEV will be interesting, although it is not announced. Lots comes in here. Yeah, so basically top safety pick for both is what we're hearing, and if you get the LED headlights. So again, headlights now, there's some tough ratings there. Headlights are good all the way around, but if you have to meet the top possible safety spec, you have to have some really specific headlights. And on both of these, when you have these LED headlights, that's the top possible safety pick for both of these. So safety is not really an issue. There we go. 7-pin, we talked about that. Looking to buy a Sorento hybrid, price availability. Yeah, Sorento hybrid is another option. So what I really consider this to be is similar to the Sorento EX, and it's basically the same price, except I get a little more equipment and an outdoor storage. All right, we're already past 40 minutes, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Again, I will put in the description the Santa Cruz versus Colorado link. I will put in the description the Tucson on its own, that link. I will also put in the description something else I was gonna do. What do we got? No, that was the two. Yeah, I think that was the two I was going to put in the description, and we'll do that. Skid plates for Santa Cruz, you don't have them. I wouldn't go that far off-road. Maybe somebody aftermarket makes them, there's that. Which Kia is similar to the Tucson? The closest Kia to the Tucson is going to be the Sportage, or Sportage if you're American, which will come out in around January. We just did a video of that at the LA Auto Show. The 2023 Sportage is what it's called, is built on the same platform as this, which of course this platform is also shared with that. So we'll talk about those as well. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. If you have questions, just let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of this, yeah, we can do more of this all the time. So you've seen Teddy Bear in the back. We'll keep going. And yeah, this has been fun. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we will do this again soon.